I said these cameras were gonna suck, didn't I? Back some videos ago, I said these cameras were gonna suck. So, Nikon finally announced the Z6 II and the Z7 II. Are they any improvement compared to the first gen models? Nah, they're pretty much just a glorified firmware update, just like the M50 Mark II. Are they any good for video? No. Do they offer unlimited recording? No. 10-bit internal? No, not even that. 4K 60 cropped? Via firmware update? Why does Nikon even bother with this stuff? Anyway, let's talk about the Z6 Mark II and the Z7 Mark II, shall we? So the Z6 Mark II and the Z7 Mark II. So this is pretty much the second generation in the full frame Z series cameras from Nikon. And they're pretty much just what I expected. Pretty much just minor incremental updates to the Z6 one and the Z7 one. So I'm mostly going to be talking about the Z6 Mark II because the Z7 Mark II, first of all, I don't care about the high resolution model. I always found the Z6 to be better anyway, a better deal. So I'm not going to really talk about the Z7 Mark II. I'm not going to be talking about the Z6 because that's the camera that most people really prefer. The Z7 is just a glorified 46 megapixel Z6 with less video specs, less video features. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the Z6 Mark II compared to the Z6 Mark I. So I have already right here the B&H page for the cameras. So the Z6 Mark II is retailing for $2,000, so pretty much the same as the Z6 Mark I when that camera released. You can now find the Z6 Mark I for a lot cheaper, especially if you buy used, by the way. So there's that. This camera is pretty much just an incremental update, just like the rumors were saying. It pretty much uses the same sensor, the same video specs, everything is pretty much the same. The only thing that changed was that now the cameras have dual card slots, which the first generation model should have had. They also now have compatibility for the battery grip, which again the first gen model should have had that. And there's also going to be 4K 60, but that's going to be coming via firmware update, so you don't even have 4K 60 on launch day, so yeah. But I'm going to go over the specs here. So for the specs, it uses the same sensor as the Z6, so there's no improvement whatsoever in the sensor. It still uses the same 24 megapixel sensor. It has the same ISO sensitivity as well, so the dynamic range and the low light performance are going to be the same as the Z6 one. It also has the same IBIS performance, so there hasn't been any improvement in the IBIS system whatsoever. The same burst tuning as well. It has pretty much the same thing, pretty much. It still has a recording limit, like I said in the beginning. I don't know why Nikon continues to offer limited recording in their cameras. This is pretty stupid in my opinion. Why Nikon? Why do you focus so much in video with the Z series, yet you do not offer unlimited recording? I know a lot of people are asking for this, for unlimited recording. I especially asked for this. I have been asking for Nikon to offer this for a lot of time now, because this is something that professional video shooters really want and need. I will take unlimited recording over 10-bit and 4K 60 any day of the week, because like I said many times, I do a lot of long recording sessions. Like for example, for these YouTube videos, I can go on for more than 30 minutes, and I do not want to have the camera stopping and having to reach the record button to press it to record once again another take, and then have to fiddle out with joining video and merging the videos in post. I don't want to have that. So I don't want to have that annoyance. So if more companies would offer unlimited recording, it will be nice, but unfortunately they still continue to offer limited recording. If you want unlimited recording, your only options now are Panasonic and Sony. This is pretty ridiculous, especially from Nikon, because Nikon is focusing so much with video with these cameras, yet they still continue to offer limited recording. I don't know why. There's also no 10-bit internal. You only have 10-bit externally via an anonymous recorder like the Ninja 5, for example. Also, the 4K 60 is only gonna come via firmware update, like I said in the beginning. You're not gonna have 4K 60 right off the launch day, so you're gonna have to upgrade, and it's only gonna be next year. So to have 4K 60, you're gonna have to pay firmware update. So you don't even get it for free. You're gonna have to pay for the firmware update, and it's only in 2021 to have 4K 60, and it's gonna be cropped. So the 4K 60 is gonna have a 1.5 times crop, I believe. So the 4K is gonna be cropped. So you're not even gonna have 4K uncropped. 4K 60 uncropped. It's gonna be 4K 60 cropped. So you're buying a full frame camera to record 4K video, and it's gonna be cropped. So that pretty much defeats the purpose of buying a full frame camera if you're gonna be shooting 4K cropped. So it's gonna have 4K 60 cropped, and it's only gonna be via firmware upgrade. And you're gonna have to pay, because you're gonna have to send your cameras to Nikon, and you're gonna have to pay them for them to upgrade the cameras. So I don't know what Nikon is doing with this. There's the reason that the Nikon Z series is not really selling that well, and it's not really that popular. It's because of decisions like this. Nikon continues to be really stubborn and greedy in this regard. I have said many times that I don't find the Z system very appealing. I still say that they should have released a medium format Z camera. I've seen some people talking about this. The Nikon should have released a medium format Z system camera, mirrorless. That's what they should have done, in my opinion, is release a medium format camera, because then they could have also still have the full frame lenses, but you could still have medium format if you wanted, and you could use the full frame lenses in crop mode, in full frame crop mode, I guess. And they will still have something compared to the other competition, but a full frame system with a big mount for what? They said the bigger mount allowed them for better designs in lenses, but from what I've seen, the lenses so far not really appealing. The only good lens they released so far that I like is the new 14-24 2.8, because it's quite small compared to the F mount. But all the other lenses, like the 51-2 for example, that lens is pretty huge. The 70-200 2.8 is pretty huge as well. The 24-70 2.8 is also very large. They also have the 1.8 primes, which are all very expensive and very big as well compared to the Sony and the Canon ones. So I really don't get the point of this mentality of Nikon in releasing this big mount, the Z mount, and only releasing very big and expensive lenses, which are not really that stellar, as a matter of fact. For example, the 21.8 for example is not really that much better than the Sony at all. The Sony 21.8 is actually better than the Nikon, and it's also cheaper and much smaller as well. It's about half the size and weight. So I really don't know what Nikon is doing with the Z mount. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And this new Z6 Mark II is pretty much just a glorified firmware update. Pretty much, this is what the Z6 one should have been: dual card slots, battery grip compatibility, and the 4K 60. Even though it's cropped, I mean, the Z6 Mark I could have had 4K 60 cropped as well, pretty much, probably. The only new thing I find with this camera is that they now offer dual XP6 processors. So these cameras now offer dual processors, I guess, to allow for the 4K 60 cropped, but it still is cropped. It does not even have 10-bit internal. It does not have unlimited recording. So what is the point of the dual processor? I mean, I don't really find the point in there. The autofocus has been improved a little bit, but it's still not going to be at the level of the Canon or the Sony. So it's still not going to be that reliable in video autofocus. So yeah, like I said, the dynamic range and the low light is pretty much going to be the same. So you're not going to get any improvement in that whatsoever. And yeah, it's pretty much just a glorified Z6 with the firmware update. The battery life has not really been improved whatsoever. I don't think so. I don't think the battery life has been improved as well. So it's still going to be a very bad battery life for photography and for video. Also, another thing, they did not have what people were asking for, which is the flip out screen. These cameras still offer the tilt screen. It still does not offer the flip out screen like the Z, not the Z50, because the Z50 actually uses a flip down screen. Like the 5000 series, like for example, my Nikon D5500 has a flip up screen. Why did it not add a flip up screen to this camera? People were asking for a flip out screen, yet they continue to offer a tilt only screen for a camera that they are targeting very much for people who want to do video and professional video. I don't get the point. The Sony A7S III offers a flip out screen. The R5 and the R6 offer a flip out screen. The A7C offers a flip out screen as well. The Panasonic S5. So why does Nikon not offer a flip out screen? Even Fujifilm now offer a flip out screen with the X-T4, but Nikon still continues to offer only a tilt screen. So this pretty much makes these cameras not really that appealing for vloggers and YouTubers. You're gonna have to use an external recorder or an external monitor if you want to see yourself and frame yourself. So again, that's another negative for this camera. It still uses the same body style as the Z6 Mark I, so it's not gonna be that appealing for vloggers and for YouTubers. And in my opinion, it's not gonna really sell that well. You will be better off buying a used Z6 because you can now get it used for a lot cheaper than this one, and just wait for the third generation model, I guess, or just wait for the Z9, which from the rumors is shaping up to be a pretty awesome camera, even though it's gonna be very pricey probably. I really think the best camera you can get now for the Z system is the Z5. I think the Z5 is pretty much a better deal compared to this camera. It's a lot cheaper. It's about $1,300 or so. It doesn't have a flip out screen, okay, but it's still cheaper. You can get the Z5 and an Atomos Ninja 5 for the price of this camera, and you're gonna have unlimited recording, a selfie screen. You're not gonna get the backside illuminated sensor, okay, but the difference in low light is not gonna be that great, and you're pretty much gonna get pretty much the same specs as this camera. The 4K 60 is cropped, so there's really no point in there. That's not really an advantage there. It doesn't even have 10-bit internal, so if you want 10-bit, you're gonna have to use an external recorder. So there's really no point in getting this camera without a recorder if you really want to do professional video and want to grade in post. So this camera, in my opinion, is pretty much dead on arrival. Like I said, you will be better off buying a Z5. So yeah, pretty much dead on arrival, this camera. Like I said, Nikon is not really selling that well in the Z line for reasons like this. Nikon continues to be stupid and greedy because of decisions like this. This camera could have been so much better. They should have added a flip out screen just like the A7S III. 10-bit internal should have been there. Unlimited recording, that should have been the top priority, is to have unlimited recording. Because I don't think this camera is overheat. I don't think so. There's really no point for the limited recording. The European tax law has already been obsolete, so there's really no point in crippling this camera like that. So yeah, guys, the Z6 Mark II, pretty much just an incremental update, just a glorified firmware update to the Z6 One, just like the M50 Mark II is to the M50 Mark I. Nikon can continue to cripple their cameras like this. That's why the people are jumping to Sony. So yeah, Z6 Mark II, don't really like this camera. I don't recommend this camera to anyone. You will be better off with the Z5, like I said. Even the Nikon D780 is a better buy to this camera, even though that's a DSLR. That is still a better camera in my opinion, because it offers the advantages of the DSLRs, like the better battery life. It also has better ergonomics as well. It also is a little bit more expensive, okay, but it does have its advantages over this camera. And I will probably buy that camera over this one, even though that's a DSLR. You still get more bang for the buck compared to this camera. So yeah, this camera, the Z6 Mark II, not really that good in my opinion. Pretty horrible release. And Nikon, you should really be ashamed of this, because if you continue to come out with cameras like this, sooner or later you're gonna have to sell your division just like Olympus have had. So yeah, I don't really see Nikon surviving much longer if they continue like this. The Z system is not really that appealing. The lenses, like I said as well, are not really that great. They don't have a lot of lenses available yet. They're coming out very slow in releasing lenses. the DX lenses are they only have 2 DX APS-C lenses, so even if you were to invest in APS-C, you don't really have much to upgrade from. So yeah, overall, when it comes to it, the Nikon Z system is pretty much, in my opinion, the worst mirrorless system in full frame right now. So yeah, that's it guys, that was my take on the Nikon Z6 Mark II. Pretty hard release, so yeah, I don't recommend this camera, and Nikon is pretty much sooner or later gonna end up just like Olympus and Pentax, pretty much irrelevant compared to Sony, Canon and Fujifilm, and even Panasonic. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Like always, leave a like, comment or dislike. If you want to see more videos like this, you can always visit the channel. I have done more videos from Nikon in the past as well, if you want to check those out. If you want to support my work and want to see more, you can always hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So stay safe out there, and UNHOLY-OMEGA signing out. And Nikon, for the love of God, add unlimited recording to these cameras. Please add unlimited recording and 10-bit internal. Also, RAW external only. Come on. It's also line skipped RAW, so there's really no point in that. So Nikon, you really suck. And man, I really want to upgrade my Nikon D5500, but unfortunately there's still no perfect camera. Hopefully Sony will release the A7 IV soon, because this release pretty much sucks. So yeah, sucks to be you, Nikon, you suck, and I hope you end up not selling that great again, because you really deserve to die, Nikon. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, until the next video.